All right. Today, let's talk about some anxiety. I'm Keith.
I'm Rodney, and this is Daily Chronicle. It's where we chronicle our days and our journey. And we started off doing it just for our daughters, and we were documenting it. And then we decided to make it public so we could grow community around it and get great ideas from smart people. And so here we are talking about burnout today. Oh no, sorry, not burnout, anxiety.
Yeah.
I had a spot of anxiety over the weekend, which is somewhat rare for me.
Yeah.
Um, But what's your thought on anxiety?
Yeah. I think in the theme of, talking about just it's mental health month and mental health awareness month, I should say. And, we talked about depression recently, and, you know, it's this, many of us might not experience depression on its spectrum, but I think most of us do experience anxiety, especially in the professional world. And we talked about it last week with Derek Russell on his Data Binge podcast, and on
Yeah,
a
we did.
live. And I thought it was just such a rich conversation because of the way he experiences it. And I think talking about it and having a conversation about it is it's important. Like for me, I feel it in my chest, I feel it in my body, I feel it in my stomach. It causes me a lot of physical issues. I don't sleep, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I won't be able to get back to sleep. And it's hard for me because anxiety lives in the future, right?
Yeah,
It's hard for
very
me to
much.
bring that down. It's hard for me to control that. It's actually harder for me to control and manage my anxieties than it is the depressive side of things. So, um, I feel it a lot now as it relates to our business and what the future holds, because it's unknown and it's unpredictable and it's just there's no certainty of where we're going yet, and there never will be, but it's definitely at a peak right now. So I'm feeling it on the regular these days, though, trying to manage it. How about you?
Yeah, I typically don't. Anxiety is not like I'm not real future facing. Depressive will happen looking back, but
Yeah.
anxiety. But this weekend I was sad. It's funny in the chest, stomach a little bit.
Yeah.
Woke up with one of my daughters, got her to sleep easily, and then was up for another hour and a half just because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Had a
Yeah.
couple like something I read and just things going on. Like I just couldn't get back to sleep. And then I decided to do some box breathing and do some other breathing exercises just to focus on like to pull me back into the moment.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I knew I needed to do them, but I fought doing them, which was kind of I don't understand that yet, but I did that. And then Sunday morning I read something that was just saying, sometimes life is uncertain and frankly, it's pretty much always uncertain. We just feel like we have control.
Right.
But there are
Yeah.
moments that definitely feel less certain, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of suggested just feeling what you feel in it, not judging it, just letting it be.
Yeah.
And that really helped me. Like it because I was trying to control the situation that's happening in the future, which you can't, like, I don't have a time machine
Yeah.
yet. And
Yeah.
I was trying to then control my feelings about how I felt about it. And so it just resulted in me not being present. So like my wife and I, we were at a nice big open park with the kids over the weekend, and like I wasn't like I was there for part of it, then the rest of it,
Yeah.
like I was just kind of off and just bad energy, not present with the family. So yeah, that's my take on
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah. Just a closing thought on, just managing it. You gave some good tips there. I think for me, there's so much physical discomfort, like, and it's all rooted in thought, right? It's
Mhm,
forward looking thought. So I try to control the thought rather than the activity, because I
mhm,
can't control the outcome. It doesn't exist yet. And I try to just bring myself back into the present, whether it's doing the four things where you name four things you see, you name four things you touch, or you name four things you hear, just to kind of logically process your environment again so you can be back in the moment and just act on what you can control now. And if I have more time, I'll plug in a movie or watch a half-hour TV show that just kind of disconnects me from the world that I'm in. So I'm not thinking about the future, and I can be in the moment, and then move forward through the next moment without fear of failure or a concern for the outcome. So there are definitely ways I've learned to manage it over the years. It's just not as it's not something I sit with well.
I'll also say I get anxiety when I work out sometimes, like when heart rate goes up and
Mm,
breathing is really low, like oxygen saturation gets really low. I
yeah,
get this
yeah,
like kind of panicky thing,
sure.
and what helps me there is counting.
Mm,
Usually I count down from 5 or 10, and or do controlled breathing, like where I'm counting. And
sure.
I think about it. That's what I did Saturday or Sunday morning, Saturday night when I couldn't sleep. The breathing and
Yeah,
counting
sure.
really, I think that activates the prefrontal cortex and really brings me back.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's good. All right. How do you manage your anxiety? Not you, Rodney. You, the person
you,
who's watching this right
hey,
now.
you guys, huh?
All
Wise
right.
guys. All right.
Wait.